Hey, I'm Dusti with Platinum Living Realty. It is October 2nd, and I am bringing you your monthly market report for the city of Scottsdale. Buckle up, let's go. All right, so our active listings are down 21.6%, currently only 1,420 total throughout the entire city. Our sold listings are also way up at 26.8% over this time last year. And then our median sale price per square foot is up 14.6%. We're currently sitting right at about $266.49 over this time last year. Last year we were at about $232 and change. So if you bought last year around this time, you made about 14% on your property values. Now, our month supply is way down. It's down 38.2% over this time last year. We're currently sitting at a 1.71 month supply versus this time last year. Part of that is because people finally are coming out of the woodwork again after COVID. Jumbo loans are back. Weather's cooling down. It is no longer 115 degrees. We're down to like a manageable 100 to 105 max, sometimes even less than 100. So our snowbirds are coming back. People are starting to get back out into the market, and they're pounding a lot of pavement. And our number of people transferring or moving into the state of Arizona is up over 15% from this time last year. So we've got people pouring into the state from all over California, cold states, you name it, on top of the fact that we have a bunch of people here coming of age, needing to upgrade, downgrade, move up, move down, have something different in life, but that also a lot of people are schooling from home and working from home and looking for different spaces to do that. That's being compounded by the fact that interest rates are the lowest they have ever been in history. So a lot of people who were like on the fence right around the 4 or 3.5% interest rates are now out there pounding pavement because they can get a loan for under 3%, which is crazy. And then our median days on market is down a whopping 26.4% over this time last year. So we're sitting at 39 days. A transaction takes 30, 35, sometimes 40, 45 in this market because there's so many people trying to get refinances as well. So a lot of lenders are overburdened with a workload, and appraisals are taking much longer. And so when you consider that, if a property is marketed appropriately and priced appropriately in this market, it should sell almost immediately within 10 days or less. So let's break it down depending on your price point. Let's break it down on the month of supply by price point. This is important whether you're buying or selling. If you're buying, it tells you how aggressive you need to be with your pricing or your offer strategy and what you can get away with and what you can expect to go into with an offer. But if you're selling, it also helps you price the home appropriately so it's not sitting on the market. Our goal is always to price as high as possible so it'll still appraise, we can still get buyers in the door, we can still get good offers, but without going so high that we turn people off. And that's something a lot of people in a seller's market, they can get a little too greedy sometimes. And that's why we're starting to see the price per square foot and sale price to original list price, sold to list price ratio, that's been trending downward even though sales are going up. And it's because people are being a little too aggressive with their pricing strategy. So therefore, the market's saying, no, it's really only worth X when you were listing at Y. And keep in mind, in this market, 25% of all homes are still not selling. That means there's only three things. There's something wrong with the house, there's something wrong with the marketing, or the price is off. That's the only three things that could be holding a home back in this particular market. So let's get into it. Like I said, overall for the entire city of Scottsdale, every property type, every price point, we're at 1.71 months of supply. That's a crazy white hot seller's market. When we look at the $0 to $100,000 price range, we're at 3.6. That's just barely inside the seller's market. That is a lot of co-ops, townhomes, things that would be harder to finance, a lot of very small places. So keep that in mind, but it's still seller's market. It's just not a crazy seller's market. Then we're at the $100,000 to $200,000 price range. That is a huge swing. We're at 1.57 months. That is right about 6 weeks of supply, maybe 7. Then we're at the 200 to 300. We're under less than a month's worth of supply, 0.96. So 3.5 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks worth of supply, meaning in that price range, the minute it goes on the market, it should be snapped up. Like I said, if it's priced appropriately. Same with the 300 to 500,000. We're looking at 0.85 months. So right about 3 weeks-ish, just over. And then our $500,000 to $700,000 price range, we're at 1.20. So about 5 weeks of supply there. So keep that in mind. In 5 weeks, and like I said, that's about the time it takes to close a transaction. You should have lots of people through the door. And if you're not, you've got a problem. Here's where things get crazy. The 700 to $1 million, you're creeping up on that luxury price point. You're in the high end, but you're not quite considered luxury just yet until you hit that $1 million mark. 700 to $1 million, we are at 1.81, less than 2 months of supply. So you're looking at more like 7 weeks, not quite 8, 7 weeks of supply. Again, if a transaction's taking 35, 40 days, maybe 45, you're only on the market a couple weeks if you're doing everything you should be in this particular market. Here's where things are exciting. The $1 to $3 million price range, we are sitting at 3.19 months of supply. We're well inside the seller's market cutoff, which is 4 months or less. And so you can have gentle upward pressure. You may not have 27 offers like you would in the $300,000 to $500,000 range, but it is still going to be in that luxury home seller's favor, which is a good place to be for the luxury market. It is not often that happens. I know I've been saying it for a few months that things are good in this price range, but believe me, this point in history will not last. Okay, and so then we go to the $3 million or over price point, and we're at 10.58 months of supply. That is full stop a buyer's market. So we need to kind of keep that in mind. The good news is it's been stable from this time last year to this year. Last year in that price point, we didn't really even have any data, but we had 115 listings, 3 million or over this time last year. This year we're at 127, but we had 12 sales. Last year, we didn't even have any sales to calculate a number. So that's actually really good if you own one of those super high-end homes. But at the same time, if you're buying in that price point, it's still a buyer's market. And so you should be able to negotiate a pretty good deal for yourself, especially with these historic low interest rates. If you have any questions, give me a call, 480-717-9405. I'd be happy to help you, let you know what's going on in your exact neighborhood or come up with the home value for your exact home. Again, my name is Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty. You can visit my website at dustimartinrealtor.com.